children, today I'm sharing a Bible storytelling of how Daniel interprets the king's dream from Daniel chapter 3. So here's the story.
Two years after rising to the throne of Babylon, King Nebuchadnezzar had a terrible dream. This dream frightened him so much that he couldn't sleep. King Nebuchadnezzar, in anguish and desperate to learn what the dream meant, called in all the wise men known to him to see if any of them could interpret his dream. The wise men came before King Nebuchadnezzar and asked him to tell them about his dream, but the king refused. King Nebuchadnezzar demanded that the wise men first tell him what he dreamed, and then what the dream meant. The king declared, "If you can do this, I will give you great rewards. If not, I will have you put to death." In disbelief of the king's request, the wise men said, "King Nebuchadnezzar, what you ask is impossible. No one can do what you ask. Only a god could tell you your dream." This made King Nebuchadnezzar so angry that he ordered that all his wise men be put to death, including Daniel and his friends Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. When the king's chief soldier, Arioch, came to capture Daniel, he asked Arioch what was going on. Arioch explained the situation, and Daniel went to King Nebuchadnezzar to ask for time to interpret the dream. The king agreed, and Daniel hurried back to see Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego so that they could pray for God's help. That night, God revealed to Daniel the king's dream and its meaning. The next morning, Daniel went to Arioch and said, "Don't execute the wise men of Babylon. I will interpret the king's dream." When Arioch brought Daniel before King Nebuchadnezzar, the troubled, tired king asked Daniel, "Can you tell me what I saw in my dream?" Daniel replied, "No one could tell you this, but there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. He showed me your dream and what it means." Daniel told the king, "God showed you the future through your dream. In your dream, you saw a statue with a head of gold, chest and arms of silver, belly and thighs of bronze, legs of iron, and feet of iron mixed with clay. Then a rock smashed the statue. The rock became a mountain that filled the whole earth. You, king, are the head of gold, and every other part of the statue are the kingdoms that will come after you. The rock represents a kingdom that God will establish, that will last forever." King Nebuchadnezzar bowed before Daniel and showed him great honor for all that God had spoken through him. The king said, "Surely your God is the God of gods and the Lord of kings, the one who can reveal the greatest of mysteries." For his service, King Nebuchadnezzar promoted Daniel to a high position and placed him in charge of all the wise men. At Daniel's request, the king also promoted Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego to rule over all the provinces of Babylon.
And for today's assignment on the topic of Daniel interprets the king's dream, here you need to color the king in and then fix up the words in his dream so that you know what the image was made of. Along with this assignment, you need to memorize two verses, that is Psalm 139 verse 3 and Daniel chapter 6 verse 26. Today I will end with you with a verse that is from Psalm chapter 139 verses 1 to 10. "You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all my ways. Before a word is on my tongue, O Lord, you know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and you lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. too lofty for me to attain. Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I go up to the heaven, you are there. If I make my beds in the depths, you are there. If I rise on the wings of dawn, if I settle on far side of the sea, even there your hand will guide me. Your right hand will hold me fast. God bless you, children. Have a blessed Sunday.